YouTube, it's Nick with Feeding Fitness. Today I'm going to talk about the subject of toning your muscles or looking toned. Toned is one of my least favorite words in fitness, and I'll get to why. But you see this all the time, and this isn't just a female thing. Men ask it the same question but in a different way. But women often ask or say, I don't want to gain muscle, I just want to look toned. How do I do that? Or how do I lose weight while toning up? Very common question. Guys ask it in a roundabout way. They basically say, I want to have muscle cuts, but I don't want to look like a bodybuilder. That's the way guys say it. Or I don't want to get huge, like getting huge is easy. But let me break down for you how you become toned. First, I need to state that you cannot tone a muscle. This is not a process that exists. Muscles get bigger and muscles get smaller. Toning them, meaning if I do enough bicep curls, I'll lose fat around my bicep and you'll see muscle cuts. That idea, it doesn't work that way. You can do sit-ups till the cows come home. You will not have visible abdominal muscles unless you lose fat. You cannot tone your abs. You can have your abs look toned. Of course, you see people and you would describe their physique as toned, but they didn't achieve it by doing any kind of toning. And I'll explain to you what I mean and what you can do to achieve that look. So in order to get the toned look, two conditions must be met. First, you have to have a low level of body fat. If your body fat is too high, you simply will not see muscular definition. But this isn't all you need. If you take a marathon runner, for example, their body fat is usually very low, but most of them wouldn't look toned. It's just not what they're going for. It's not helpful for them in their sport to have a lot of upper body musculature. So what's the second thing you need? Musculature. You need to have built up a muscular base. Now everyone has a baseline of muscle. We all have muscles. But if you haven't worked at least a little bit with some resistance training, weightlifting, purposefully trying to gain some muscle, unless you are in the genetic elite, you probably will not look toned just from having a low level of body fat. Some people will. If you're genetically more muscular than the average person and all you do is cut the fat, you may be left with what looks like a toned physique. But most people, even if they're not big, still need to do some kind of muscle building or you're just not going to look toned. So that would obviously be the second condition. You must have some muscle built. Alright, so what do you need to do to achieve the toned look? And this depends where you're starting from. If you're a guy who lifts all the time and you've built up a ton of muscle and you just have a lot of fat covering the muscle, really all you need to do is diet down, lose the fat, and continue to do your weightlifting so you don't lose the muscle in the process. If you do that, you're going to look pretty good once you get lean. Easier said than done, but that's really all you need to do. Now, a lot of people who ask this question, men and women, start in a position of either fat or what I like to call skinny fat, which is not exactly fat, but no real muscles and just a generally pudgy, doughy type physique. If either of these categories fit you, you're going to need to do some cycling, and I will explain what I mean by that. The first thing you're going to want to do is cut the fat. Especially if you're overweight, obese. You need to cut the fat. While you are in a dieting phase, and I have plenty of videos, and I'm going to link in the description how you can go about starting a fat loss diet for you, but that's going to be the process you're going to need to do first. Once you've reached a reasonably lean looking physique, you need to start working on muscle building. And what you don't want to do is get overly fat during the muscle building phase. So bodybuilders call this lean bulking, where you're going to eat in just a small caloric surplus while you're working hard to gain muscle, doing a good lifting program in the gym at least 3 days a week, trying to pack on the muscle. Now the key to not getting fat while you're trying to bulk up is to just really limit your calorie surplus. Men need to try and gain about 2 pounds a month. Women only need to gain about 1 pound a month. If you're gaining faster than that, you're getting fatter than you have to. And it's gonna make this whole process take much longer. So really, if you cut down the fat, diet down to a lean level of body fat, you do a 6 to 9 month bulking phase where you gain some muscle mass, and then finish it off with another dieting phase where you cut off the extra fat that you gain during your bulk, because you always gain some, but if you do it right, you won't gain a ton. If you do that, you should end up with a rather toned physique. This could take you a year, this could take you 2. It took me a year to get from obese to scrawny, and then it took me about another year to get from scrawny to toned. So really, starting where I started, it was a 2-year process. If you're not obese to begin with, you can probably do it in about half the time, but this isn't gonna happen overnight. I just wanted to clear up for you guys that you can't just lift arm workouts and do abdominal crunches and do them 7 days a week, and then one day wake up with 6-pack abs and muscle insertions, and those things won't happen. And you're also going to be limited by your genetics. Certain people are just not going to look great in certain parts of your body. You'll have your parts that look good and your parts that don't. Personally, my legs, they're very easy to train, they're very easy to get lean. My biceps, I will work forever, and I will probably never ever get much bigger than 16 and a half inch biceps. It is just not in my future. But I don't have to train calves at all, and they're 17 inches plus. That's just my genetics. You're gonna have your genetic strong points and weak points. The best thing you can do is to try and build muscle while keeping your body fat reasonably lean, and that's how you look toned. So the next time you find someone at the gym that tells you they're doing abs 7 days a week in an attempt to tone, you can either point them to this video, or you can just laugh in your head about how they're never going to make any gains. So that's what I do. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video if you think that your friends might find this useful, and join us at the Facebook page at facebook.com/feedingfitness, and I'll see you guys next time.